We start with a rapidly developing story here in Germany, where police have arrested two people in connection with the fatal shooting of two police officers. They were shot when they stopped a car for a traffic check in the early hours of Monday morning. The motive behind the killing is still unknown, and it's not clear whether more suspects are still at large. DW correspondent Bernd Riegert is at the scene. Welcome, Bernd. Who is in custody?
Well, two men were arrested, a 38-year-old and a 32-year-old. The 38-year-old, Andreas S., might be the main perpetrator, police is telling us. If he fired the weapon, and that is not clear yet. The prosecution has now to establish the facts, but so far we don't know if these two men are actually speaking to the police or what is going on. Clear is that they were arrested only 40 kilometers from the crime scene, the one in his car and the other one in his flat, so their effort to flee was not very big, I would say.
Right. And this morning, police were saying they didn't know how many people they were looking for, and they didn't know who they were looking for. So this has all happened very quickly.
Yes, police did that on purpose, so not to endanger the manhunt, so to speak. They knew from the very beginning who they were looking for, because one of the men left his ID card or some papers at the crime scene this morning, so they were knowing whom to look for. But it is not clear if there are more men at large. So far, these two are arrested, but police are saying it could be that there are more people involved, but the main perpetrator should be this 38-year-old man.
Right. And what's being said about a motive?
Yeah, that's also a little bit tricky. We know that the main suspect used to have a bakery and was also trading with meat, with wild meat. And the police officers that were killed this morning said they found some meat in his trunk, so there might be a link. Maybe it was an act of poaching and they were caught and then reacted by shooting the police officer. But it could also be a planned murder. That is also not clear. The prosecution has to find out what's really going on.
OK, so a tragic event with a successful conclusion, all within one day. And just remind us of how this all started. This all started early this morning with a routine traffic stop.
Yeah, that's right. And the police officer, a male and a female, hold over this car, and then they found something suspicious, and they were able to make a radio call to their colleagues at headquarters, and then they said they're shooting at us. That was the last call coming. So then the police know something was going very wrong. But at the time when the police, the enforcement arrived at the scene, one of the police officers was already dead, and the other one died very quickly. Thereafter, there was no possibility to save them. It's a tragic event, but not very common in Germany, you have to say. It's very rare that policemen get killed and murdered on the scene.
All right, thank you for that, Bernd. DW correspondent Bernd Riegert.